What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol MDXG for MiMedx. And again, if you're Spanish, maybe it's MiMedx, right? Who knows? But anyways, on the left-hand side, we do have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room is the massive gap down here based on some news that they're not going to be pursuing whatever it was that they were developing. And that's going to be a really hard pill to swallow if you were someone who is long from anywhere up in here. Heck, even up in here, right? That's a really tough loss to be taking here. And hopefully what this video is going to do is outline some things or maybe change your perspective if you're one of these people holding from up here. If you're not and you're looking for a long entry, I would probably advise some caution here. But let's start by at least mapping out a quick daily roadmap, right? And this is just very quick, not really paying attention to a whole lot of nuance here, just areas that I find as areas of interest. And obviously the gap close will map out way up there at 1536. What I want to do is at least take a look at what happened with the gap down. Did it go lower in the overnight session, or what's kind of the floor, right? So $6 is that number, and that's, pretty much today's low of day as well. I'm going to flip that back off just to make this a little easier to look at. And what I want to do is just, again, talk more about the mentality of holding on to a trade here versus potentially cutting loose and, putting your money to better use elsewhere, right? So the first things first, if you're long from anywhere over 12, you're currently sitting on a 50% loss, and that's an extremely painful thing to be dealing with. I'm not trying to minimize that at all here, but a framework I would use to navigate this going forward is if we take out 6 and start moving underneath this area here, I would just cut the trade. And again, I can't tell you what to do legally. This isn't financial advice, but I'm telling you from a mental perspective, I would free myself of having to deal with this chart and this loss and holding on to it if it violates 6, right? I would just cut ties, say, you know what, 6 is my stop loss. I'm getting out if it violates it to the downside. That'll be it. I'll take my loss. I'll move on, and I'll put my money to use in more productive places. If it doesn't violate 6 though, and it just continues to go sideways, what you have to ask yourself is how much is my time worth, right? How much is my money being tied up in this position worth, right? Could I be putting it to use in better and other investments, trades, anything really, right? So ask that question, and I would set a date for yourself, right? Give yourself a date where you say, you know what, if in 15 days this hasn't moved higher back into this gap overhead, it's really just going sideways in this range between 7 and 6, maybe that's when you cut ties as well, because I guarantee you would be better served putting your money elsewhere. This is of course barring any massive news catalyst that sends it back on a gap up, but I think the odds of that are extremely low, right? I really don't think that's something that's going to be happening given the severity of the news which caused this gap down in the first place. So please just consider that perspective. And then the only reason I could see you holding on to this to sort of mitigate some sort of loss would be if we start forming higher lows and higher highs, right? If we start forming some type of overall uptrend here, then yes, maybe it is worth holding on to see if you can shave that loss down from a 50% loss maybe to something like a 30% or a 20% or even 10, depending on, how high this works up into and where your potential entry was. So just keep an eye, see if we can make a higher high first over this 660 mark. If we can, maybe just keep watching, right? So as we do this, pull back higher low, that's your sign, okay, I'm going to keep holding on. But if this stops, right, if we do, let me just grab some more screen real estate here. I'll drag that off to the left. If we're doing something like this, right, higher lows, great, and then all of a sudden we start doing this, then that's probably another one of those instances where I would start cutting ties. I would say, you know what, the uptrend was nice while it lasted. It certainly gave me back some more of my, money, right? I got more of my money back, but now that we're downtrending again, I just don't want to be involved. And again, I'm not saying that it has to be here at 8 and then the lower high here at 760. I'm just saying from an overall perspective, this could happen on the daily, right? This could do something like this. Let me get some more screen space, and it could do something like this, right? It could come up, it could pull back, it could come up, pull back, and then start doing this, and then lower highs. It could look anything like that. But again, just monitor those lower highs and higher lows. See if you're in an uptrend. If you're not in an uptrend, how much is your time worth? All questions to be asking. And again, it's going to be a really tough pill to swallow if you're taking a 50% loss, but I guarantee you it'll be better than watching this every day, hoping, holding on to hope, and really waiting to see if it will ever get back up into these areas. I just really think that you're better served cutting the loss and moving on. So that's me sharing my perspective here. I've been in those shoes. I've done that in the past. I've been the one to hold on to it, and I've been the one to cut it quickly. So I know what it's like on both sides, and I'll say it served me 9 times out of 10 way better to just cut the loss, move on, and look for better opportunity elsewhere. So I apologize if you are caught long in this scenario. It's a tough thing to deal with, but I wish you all the best. If you're not, familiar with our channel, go check out some of the other videos we have. Maybe you can find something there where there's a better opportunity, right? So check that stuff out. I wish you all the best of luck.